This video is for entertainment purposes. This video is not real. This video follows all community guidelines. This video is fake. This video is scripted. This video is following all the guidelines.
So this is Corey Good. He's talking about his experience as a child and the government coming to pick him up from school about these secret space programs. Watch this documentary called Above Majestic. David Wilcock produced it. He had a whole bunch of whistleblowers, a whole bunch of contactees, people who really were in the government experiencing these circumstances. Now I'm going to play a clip, but you can watch this on YouTube or you can watch it on Tubi. They got it free.
Your parents dropping you off at school just like any other day. And except that day, you're pulled aside and told you're going to go on a field trip. You're in a special education class or an accelerated learning class or special. You're being taken off campus to go, look at dinosaurs. Well, you are taken, put in a van. Usually a person is driving that is military looking, sometimes in uniform. They would then drive us for a little over an hour to Carswell Air Force Base. We parked inside this hangar that was a motor pool, and we walked to the back, and there was an elevator. And the elevator went down quite a ways. And when we came out, we were underground in a Cold War era type bunker. That would then lead us to another set of elevators that would take us down where we would get on underground trams that would, there were trains that would take us over 500 miles per hour anywhere in the world. When we were sent to one of these locations through one of these shuttles, we would then go through, sometimes because of travel time, we would only get 45 minutes of training in, sometimes 2-3 hours of training in. Then we would go back, be debriefed, and they would give us a chemical through a shot, and they would sit us in a chair in front of a movie screen and basically hypnotize us and give us a screen memory of going to a museum and looking at dinosaurs.
So you gotta be careful what is happening at these schools and what you are sending your child to school for, because they think when your kid is at school and they go on a field trip, they come back and they say, oh, we saw dinosaurs, when really they were mind wiped and experimented on and did all of these different governmental programs. They have that technology because they put it in the movies. I told y'all, they let us know through the movies. Y'all remember that episode of Family Guy where Chris could not get that stuff out of his head? So they had to mind wipe him. And then she said, did you have fun at the circus? And he said, yes, I did.
Museum and looking at dinosaurs. They would then put us in the same van, drive us back to school, let us out. And as our parents picked us up, we would tell them all about looking at dinosaurs.
MKUltra was a program done by the CIA in the 1950s and 60s. And within MKUltra, they experimented with trauma-based mind control through the use of electroshock therapy, through the use of mind-altering drugs, through the use of even hypnotic regression and many other techniques to figure out how to control and program human beings.
It keeps me up at night, and it's a real one. So in the early 90s, a woman named Jerry went to a psychotherapist named John Mack because she was having recurring nightmares of UFOs. Then one night, her 2-year-old son started screaming in terror in his room. She ran in to check on him, and he claimed that owl monsters were touching his legs. And when she asked where the owl monsters were now, he claimed that they were in a boat in the sky. So Jerry starts thinking that maybe her family is being visited by aliens. She kind of brushed it off at first, but then one night her daughter has this experience. She was practicing reading for school, and she had to time herself in 10-minute intervals and see how far she could read. So she's timing herself for 10 minutes, marking how far she read. Timing herself for 10 minutes, marking. Timing herself for 10 minutes, and then she looks up and an hour has gone by. There's 50 minutes of time she can't account for, which apparently is kind of common in people who have been visited by aliens.
When you have beings that are more advanced with dealing with the fourth dimension, same things like how you go to bed and you have a dream and you feel like you've been in there for a long time, or it don't feel like you slept for 8 hours. The dream don't feel like that, right? And they know how to use this, manipulate that energetic technology.
It's just causing people to freak out. In 2010, a family from England was growing increasingly concerned for their mother's mental well-being. She said she had memories of an alien abduction and they basically thought she was crazy. So to humor her, they set up a camera in their bedroom and what they found is quite shocking. After a few nights of things seeming normal, their mother woke up claiming to have had another experience. So they checked the cameras. You can see the mother here resting in the sheet, and what happens in a few moments is pretty unexplainable.
How do you
It
explain
gets
that?
even weirder. This happened over the course of a few minutes, so I've sped up the video.
What the? Oh.
This footage is causing people to
Wait
freak
a
out.
minute, wait. Y'all, I didn't even know it was somebody sitting on the other side of the bed. What the fuck? I don't know what to see. Have y'all noticed that there has been a lot of people who have been just magically disappearing out of thin air? Watch the person in the wheelchair.
Crash team to ICU West. All members of crash team report immediately for a code at ICU West.
Everybody just looking around like, what just happened? Please tell me what just happened. Now watch the lady with the stick right there sitting in that chair.
Team report immediately for a code at ICU West.
Oh, where did they just go, y'all? See? You see what I'm talking about?
Now, I haven't been like the biggest believer in these vanishing videos, but I just came across this video and I ain't gonna hold y'all. I believe this motherfucker right here. This is coming from a police officer's body cam. So I want y'all to check this video out and let me know what y'all think in the comments.
Hey, how's it going?
I was speeding, wasn't I?
Yeah, and you completely blew that stop sign in front of me.
I did. I'm so sorry. I literally didn't even see it.
All right. No
this is my
worries.
first time being pulled over.
All right. Can I see your driver's license registration?
Yeah.
Not a big deal.
Here's my license, but this is my mom's car. So
Where are you headed to where you're speeding and missing stop signs?
I was just headed to a friend's house. It's like literally right there. It's a birthday party. So,
Got it.
not mine, but
Any drugs or alcohol in the vehicle?
no, of course not.
All right. Sit tight, sir. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Your registration is What the?
Fuck?
Sarah?
That shit's
What
real.
the heck? Sarah? 3201
That shit crazy right
to
there.
dispatch. I have a minute.
See, no. Explain real quick for me. So y'all, this is a movie that I will never forget, and I recommend y'all go watch it. I recommend you go watching it because I will never forget this movie. It's talking about the alien abductions. It's talking about, and this was based off of a true story. So let me just get into the context of it. So in this movie, since the 1960s, Alaska has had a lot of missing people. FBI been constantly investigating on trying to see what's going on of the disappearance of the people, but they don't have no answers, and the case is literally just closed all the time. Now in the movie, Dr. Abigail Tyler, she's a psychologist who lost her husband. She's now a single mother, and she has been connecting the dots between the missing people and also her clients who have been having supernatural experiences, psychological experience where they're all seeing owls in their dream. And they're so frightened of this owl and they don't know what the owl means. So they go see her and she's putting it all together, and she would put her clients in this hypnotic state and under hypnosis, and she would try to dig into their mind to see where did all this originate from. And soon as they start talking about the owl, they start freaking out. Stuff start moving around the room. And all of these people in this town in Alaska who have been experiencing this owl in their dreams was a blockage of kind of like a memory eraser of them being abducted by these aliens. So in the story, her child gets abducted. The police officers are playing slow, like they don't believe her. They think that she's doing something with her child, when she saw clear as day her child being abducted. And this is what I'm talking about, the treaties that they have with these extraterrestrials that want to harvest humans. Someone had murdered her husband, and it wasn't a person, it was a being. Apparently the police officer shows her and says, no, your husband, he committed committed suicide. And she like, that's not what happened. Do you see that she basically had her memories conglogged? Like, she remembers everything that happened. The rest of the world is telling her, you're tripping, when she really wasn't. She is an actor for the story that happened in Alaska, but they were really just trying to bring this situation to the light that was happening over there. As y'all know in the title, we're talking about abduction experiments that has been done by the government and by aliens that they work with. So y'all seeing what's in my vault of my conspiracy-liked videos.
1954, Dwight Eisenhower signed what's known as the Granada Treaty with the alien gray race. In exchange for shared alien technologies, the Greys were allowed to abduct a number of humans annually for medical examination. The Greys also demanded anonymity from the public. A short time later, human technology took a giant leap forward with circuit chips, fiber optics, and lasers. The Granada Treaty is still active today, but the number of human abductions has increased, despite objections from the world governments. Now, the really interesting part. Every year, at least 8 million children go missing in the world. I can attest that 1/3 of them are abducted by government operatives and transported to any one of the 1,477 underground military installations on the planet, then imprisoned for the remainder of their lives. The children are subjected to biological and genetic experiments, dissections, and mutilations performed not by human scientists, but an alien gray species. During my stay at the Vanguard Underground Base north of Phoenix, Arizona, I witnessed many of these procedures.
I'm not going to say it's all Greys, but you know that there is like a certain specific amount of aliens that are working with the government. Are not working with the government. This person came in contact with one of the Greys, and somehow she found out about why they were abducting humans and why the government wasn't doing anything about it.
In order the species that did not make it in the future timeline to really start reconstructing their bodies, they needed original DNA, which they had to take from our timeline. So they came in with the agenda to take DNA out of our species through the permission of the governments. And this is where it became very messy, because different groups got involved. The human race of the government didn't know too much about it. They were kept in the dark. So there was an agenda for survival from that grace, because they were dying off. They couldn't reprint the DNA anymore. The atmosphere and all became very difficult. They end up using the technology to enhance their DNA, because the original human has the DNA that is the original blueprint from God consciousness itself. And this is why a lot of species here from so-called beings on Earth that completely off disengage with the illusion, and they don't realize that when you change the DNA of the human, you do not hold the same sequences through the chakras to convert, to open these portals, to expand into another level of existence. And this is why it's a lot of situations now here that people are being manipulated.
You can't connect to that source energy. So then it's kind of like the same situation with the AI beings that's having to feed off of light, feed off of people, feed off of humans, and feed off of their energy. They're trying to get to that source energy without being righteous, if you know what I mean. There are integrations, there are human hybrids. They have already been doing scientific genetic decoding.
I wanted to introduce into the record page 55 from the committee's interview with page 55 from the committee's interview which took place on July 17, 2023.
It looks like she's making her say everything. I'm just showing you a little proof of the integration that's in our government. Just a little bit of proof. How do we still have people in office who are like this?
President Biden's cheat sheet. He literally tipped his hand, showing a card with step-by-step instructions. You enter the Roosevelt room and say hello. You take your seat. You give brief comments. You thank participants. You depart. The detailed instructions were written for Biden for a meeting with wind industry executives. He accidentally exposed it when he flipped it over to look at notes on the back of the...
This man is so lost and so dementiated. Do you not see who wrote the card? This person is the face of America. Joe even admitted that he's following orders. Watch.
And let's see. Let's follow my orders here.
Look at him reading a piece of paper. All of that just came from my likes and a little bit of it from YouTube. So that's what I got in my vault of abductions. That's in my TikTok likes, and also a movie that I recommend for y'all to watch. Y'all stay dangerous, and thank y'all for riding with me through my likes and my vaults and my reactions.